Actually, oh goodness me. This.
Can this day get any worse?
Every single thing on this thing is absolutely... How did you manage to do that? Another thing that's broken. Hello everybody and welcome to Usually Fixing and Tinkering, and this time in the world of Mark 1 focuses, it's round 2 for George. Nick is back with George like a bad smell and he's brought the wind with him. Extreme amounts of wind. Anyway, this time with George we've decided to do a number of things. Now, one of those things that we couldn't do last time, it was basic servicing and just getting the car back on its feet. Amongst me identifying a load of other areas that need looking at, is the fuel filter. Need to change the fuel filter, so I'll show you how to do that in this episode. A couple of things we discovered: blown bulbs, a couple of things, a coil pack that I wasn't happy with last time, that's going to be swapped out. Thermostat housing's also going to be done as well. Got to get that off, got to get the blooming alternator and stretch belt off again. We should have done that last week, but we didn't have enough time, so needs must on that one. New coolant bottle as well, some fancy new trims and a few other bits and pieces as we go along. So let's get cracking. Oh, here we go again. Here back like a bad smell. Hello, sir.
Hello, viewers.
Ready for round 2. You don't have to say, you don't say it like that. Just cut it again. Oh, look what we have here. George is back for more action. Axle stand, well, we're on ramps. Well, we'll use the axle stands a bit later because we are going to do a power steering flush. Hello, buddy, how are you?
Not bad, thank you.
Good. Round 2?
Yes.
Yes, we'll get this improved for you.
Challenging weather.
Yes, I know. I have to point out a few things, unfortunately. Nick has a reputation for damaging the paintwork on all these cars, and this morning we had a bit of a mishap at the petrol station. He spilt petrol all over the paint, gave it a wipe and it came clean off with the lacquer. No, it's not your fault, to be honest, because that looks like the lacquer has gone really weak along this area, and it's been known to happen. I've actually, strangely enough, years ago, excuse the wind, years ago I used a pressure washer on my Focus, put it too close and it took some of the lacquer off. I think in this area again it was kind of just above the arch lip. It just goes weak. If it goes a little bit rusty on the inside, it can just weaken out. So unfortunately, yes, that's a weird one, but I'll get it polished up at a later date and that will look a little bit less in your face. But anyway, first job, fuel filter. Well, Nick, you're going to be doing coolant at the front. Just drain the coolant at the front. So you know what you're doing. You take the bung out the bottom, drain it into there. Obviously don't drain it on the floor because it's poison.
You got a screwdriver?
Yes, I've got a screwdriver somewhere. It's just down here. I've got a big one actually. Yeah, there you go, big massive screwdriver. And we'll try and fight this weather. Couple of things really. I need to disconnect this battery. Now, first job, fuel filter. Now, this is a very awkward job on a Mark 1. It's not like a 45 where the filters are in the engine bay, which is just so simple. It's untrue. This is a faff where it's located, hence why it's on a ramp. I recommend ramps, please. Just reverse onto a ramp, have somebody put their foot on it because they tend to move. And you've got to be very careful of the plastic clips. This is recommended because usually these fuel filters are not changed when they're supposed to be changed, and they do make an awful lot of difference if they started choking up with all sorts of sediment. Not rust, because these are plastic tanks, they don't rust, but ideally we want to get it changed, and that's another box tick for this car in general, long term. Now, while Nick's doing that, it will come out. It won't come out completely unless you pull it. The plug won't immediately come out anyway. I'm just going to take the cap off.
It's to the left, isn't it? Is it to the left?
Yeah, that way. Yeah, lefty loosey, my friend. It's the same as anything, and it shouldn't be tight either. We took it off last time, only a couple of weeks ago. Cap off. As we can see, guys, unfortunately we've got some leakage. Nick complained of bubbling on the side, and you can see it's going. It's micro cracked on the side, so yeah, we've got there just in time for this bottle. So all the rust killing has done a good. The rust killing has turned white, which is a kind of a byproduct of that product. We are really fighting the wing, and we're just gonna have to keep stopping here because this is going to get a bit frustrating. But anyhow, while Nick's doing that, got another job, and that's the fuel filter. Now, simple as, we need to depressurize the fuel system. So it's straight in here, number 15. This is quite stiff. There we go. Okay, it's the third one along a big fat 15. There we go. Be ready. It will stop very quickly, I can assure you. It's because I've taken the cap off. It will come out quicker without that cap. Right.
Yeah, but you've got moss on your drive.
No, don't worry about that. It will go where it goes. It's actually quite mucky considering that's only been in a week, so maybe a multiple change of coolant is what's needed. But it is quite mucky inside there. Okay, so on this corner you're going to be a witness to some plating and the fuel filter, which is right here, okay, which is why we've had to jack up this part of the car. Unfortunately, I've just discovered something that's not right. The bracket that the filter actually is clamped by should be held in with, I think, an 8mm bolt or a 7mm. I think the garage couldn't be bothered to attach it. It is a pain, but that is really bad. It's loose, should be secured. So first plan of attack is to get this clip off once we have depressurized. And the easiest way of doing that, where's your key, Nick?
Date, I think. Should be on the, is it on the cap? Is it on the...
Oh, it might be.
You got the right key?
Yep. Won't start. Good. There we go. It started.
What are you doing to my car?
There we go. We're out of fuel. Fantastic. Right. Put that into reverse. And we are completely depressurized. That's as simple as it gets. Right, so hopefully you can see this a bit more clearly. So that's not supposed to be loose. So what we've got the vapor for the evap line in the way. So what we do is we push these little tabs in. Be very gentle because they will snap if you're not gentle. Now this could take a little bit of persuading to get this out. It's always a faff. There we go. Good. Now when you got the clip pushed away a little bit, just get a hook or a little flathead and just bring it back. There we go. Pull it, or just pull it out. All you're doing is pulling it out. That's it. Now that should come out. There we go. Done. Okay, so what you're doing is essentially you're trying to get these tabs, okay, you're just pushing these two tabs in and you're hooking this piece out. Okay, that's the quick fit system, but these clips, they break regularly, and all the others are exactly the same as this. Now I'm just going to hook this kind of out the way because the idea is that we don't really want this anywhere near, and we've got to sort of disconnect this one here. Now unfortunately the clips are always on the back side. There's a little bit of surface rust here, but actually it's really good in here. I'm really impressed. Now push this clip in. There will be a bit of fuel that will come out. Because the bracket is not attached, it's actually making this job easier. This would be harder. I really would recommend I would recommend getting this bracket, as I say, get this bracket fitted back on. Now I've got the clip out. Will it twist off? Come on. Now, I'm sick and tired of this. So what I'm doing, I've released that, but it isn't quite wanting to release. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bring this off the rigid pipe. Simple as. There we go. Oh, sugar. Done. That was an explosion, but there you go. That's what happens. That came off the pipe really easy, but this is stuck to the filter. We'll get that off when the filter's released. It's all right. That's what to expect. That's when it's depressurized. Now, I've got to get to the other clip, which is where my fingers are. Now, you can't really see in here. You've got to just get your fingers behind. Now, this is the thing with not having this bracket on, is it actually is easier, but oh, flipping heck. I think I remember the last time I did one of these. Got a garage to do this, it'd be far easier for them to do it, I tell you. Come on. Yeah. So, if I just show you here, that clip is as far as what it can go. And so just be careful, because this pipe on this side goes on the top of the tank where the fuel sender is. Ah, oh, goodness me. I'm so sorry I never caught that on camera, but I've literally just slid that pipe off. Oh, flipping heck. Oh, it just won't budge. I had to get that pry bar to nudge the clip off. But we've got no nut. Yeah, that's another nut missing. There should be a little nut holding the whole bracket on, but I'll find one and secure it, because that's the whole problem. Because that nut wasn't in place, this was just swinging with the pry bar. How am I supposed to get it off? Okay, so it sits like that as you're looking at it from the rear of the car. There is a flow, yeah, and it is in this direction, because the pipe that we've just taken off, the awkward one, from comes on the top of the fuel tank where the sender is, goes in there and comes out there and goes down the hard line to the rest of the car. And I'm just going to demonstrate what I was trying to do in the car very gently. It's absolutely rock solid, this thing. It will budge. That is how much filth is in that. It's absolutely, I'm so sorry about this. This is so... I think I've just bought this, just christened it myself. But if you're... There's still more stuff coming out of it.
Is it because I filled the tank up this morning?
Possibly, but if you've been putting quality fuel in, it will have disturbed all the crud. But this is why you change the fuel filter. This...
Tesco's petrol?
Yes.
E5?
Yes, that's the best. Tesco Momentum is the best fuel, I swear by.
No, the other one.
Oh, really?
E10.
I thought it was the... Oh, right, okay.
There is Momentum. But this morning I put the other stuff in, the cheaper stuff.
Now, I would just give this pipe a bit of a twist. We do not want to break this pipe. I've seen people where they've kinked the pipe here. You can get these pipes, but I don't really want to have Nick stranded with me for a few days. We do not want any breakages, so we've just got to go as quick as... I mean, we can go like that. That's a bit risky. You need to have it supported. So just simple case of just popping this off. This is so stiff, this is untrue. This is actually... Oh dear. It's very wrong.
Sounds rust.
Does sound really cruddy. It's actually moved. It has actually moved. We'll come back when I've got it sorted. It's the inside.
Andrew's done the inevitable. I think he's got the pipe.
This is blooming ridiculous. That has literally welded itself to the fuel filter. However, as I can see, it's like a piece that's actually cemented in. Oh, dearie me. That is not good. Luckily, it's the pipe that can be replaced. Now what I'm going to have to do is get this off and see if I can actually get this to insert again. It's not ideal, this. When things go wrong, they go very, very wrong. It looks like this piece is like a friction piece. Now, if I'm right mistaken, you look at that side and try and insert it back in. Well, you learn something new every day, because if we take, Nick, if you just point the camera so people could see. So this is what's come off. And I thought, oh, I broke it. Well, if I look at the old one, I didn't realise this. You've got this cap, which is this in my hand, and you've got the O-ring behind it. Well, the O-ring has just come out. So you put the O-ring in, and then you put the cap over it. We're okay. Yeah, we're okay. So what you have to do is you put the O-ring back in, and then you put this cap back in and just insert it very carefully. If you're having trouble getting the O-ring back in, use a 7mm, press it in, there we go, then that is sitting nicely in there, and then we put the O cap. Now, the way it goes, if I'm looking at the other one, is this way. So there's like a conical edge, so that's the inner side, that's the outside. So just pop that in, and hopefully the 7mm will be able to bash it back in. Well, that's danger averted. Now I know how these things actually come apart, but I've managed to use a 7mm, bashed it down, and it's gone straight in, and both ends are absolutely fine now. And ironically, well, to be honest, I just have to get the one off my focus to get you home, because at least I know that's not going to blow apart. 7mm bolt, ironically, on this bracket, just slacking it off. Now, the new one, remember, it goes this way, okay? We've got an eye on this. Do not do it the wrong way, because you'll find you won't have much of a running condition there whatsoever. Even that's, God, that's really tight. I've never heard of Miratec. Miratec, made in the EU. Never heard of it. But this is a Crossland, perfect. Straight on. Okay, straight on.
Smaller though.
Just a little bit on the small side. Nick, where did you get this part from? It won't fit. Look at the size of that. That bracket is never going to clamp over that.
I got it from ECP.
ECP.
Yeah.
I think we might need to go down to Euro car parts. How blooming disappointing. This always happens. That apparently is it's suitable. It came up against the reg, but it's completely the wrong size. So we're going to go to Euro car parts and we'll see if we can help you. If not, this blooming thing is going back on, and it was rubbish, because I was hoping to do that, but at least you guys know how to do a fuel filter. I'll find a bolt for that bracket as well, and we'll get that done. Anyway, next job. The sort of favours I have to do for people, and they can't even get the parts right. Shocking.
Don't blame me, blame technology.
It's dreadful, isn't it? We'll get it sorted, even if you're going home with a stupid fuel filter. Disgusting fuel filter.
Just make one up. I'm sure you can make one up.
I'll tell you what, I'll go and get the one off the Focus, shall I? Ball going back, I'll pinch it off my own one.
Yeah, get the fuel pipe while you're at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, alternator off to take the stretch belt off, because we need the alternator removed to get access to the thermostat housing. Right, this is where you need a sort of hose clamp tool to try and get these blooming hose clamps off. They are an absolute pain. And someone's put this on really weirdly. You just can't take these off without... it's just... this is really awkward, this is. There we go. It was just a bit stiff, that's why. It just didn't want to give. These ones always go a little bit rusty, but I've never seen one snap yet. The ones on mine are looking a little bit funny. Now, the best way of doing this is just by giving it a good twist. It's at the end of the day, it's not metal, it's plastic, and it will come off. Sounds really good. There we go. Right, just knock that out the way. Yeah. Your power steering switch is looking very dry, which is really good. Just check where my finger is for any leaks, because they can just go quite quickly. And then, now because we've got that hose out the way, we can get this off. Just some old-fashioned water pump pliers. There we go. Sometimes manual force is required. Okay, just wiggle this pipe off as best as we possibly can. Very rarely do these pipes, even at this age, tend to give any problems. There we go. There we go. Out it comes, out from the heater core.
Wee time.
Oh yes, you could say that again. Well done, Nick, you're learning from me. Wire brushing all the bolts, because we know these 4 bolts, there's 2 up here and there's 2 below. They're 8mm bolts and they are very prone to snapping. So you have to be exceptionally careful with these. We'll go, yeah, no, it's part of the manifold. Some of them you can't get to, but ideally whatever you can't get to, just spray in penetrating fluid. 8mm is required with a short extension just to get in here. So I'm going to go for this one. You know what? It's been a while since I've done this job. It's not 8mm, it's 10mm. What am I talking about? There you go. That's a very good start, Andrew. Get the size wrong for a start. Of course they're not, 8mm, they're 10mm. Now, that is quite large. In fact,
is it a 10mm?
Oh, goodness me. Do you know what I'm thinking?
Round it off.
Yes. Yes. Hold on. Everything we're touching today.
This car is just like Jazzabella again. Rusty.
Yeah, everything. Someone has had a go. Now that, for me, just hammer that on. Ooh, you know what? It just needs a good hammer to get it on. So,
you know that socket we got with the manifold bolt?
Yeah, I can, but what I'm going to try and do is just stick this on. So if I just put the extension on, it's just like the bolt has swelled a little bit. I don't think it's rounded. It's just really, really tough. There we go. Smack. Smack straight on. I really do hope I'm not going to have to do this with all of them, because this is the easiest to access. Right, squeaky bum time. This is giving some fight. Right, I'm not happy with that. This is 2 jobs now. Like, this is where last time you came here, everything got done. This week, absolute mayhem. I wish we'd have known about the fuel filter when your last came. I wish I'd have tried it because I'd have found out very quickly it didn't fit, so you could have got it sorted. This thermostat housing, we go no further. Every single one of these bolts we have lubricated, wire brushed, and I've just put my little 1/4 inch ratchet on, and you can feel with a 1/4 inch ratchet exactly how solid a bolt is, how seized it is. And I've got a feeling that every single one of those bolts are going to snap. We stop there. I will come back to that on another day because there's too much of a risk that all 4 are going to snap, and that's this car marooned or on an air recovery truck, and someone's got to drill the bolts out and then tap them and put new bolts in. That's going to take hours. So we'll leave it as it is, and we'll come back to that on another day when we've got a bit more time. All of it needs to go back on.
Well,
apart from this bottle needs to come off though. We will change this bottle. That's one thing we can do. Another thing that's broken today, it's just a bad day today because unfortunately there's no way there's a brake in that. There we go, clean brake. That is what you've got to watch out for with these. Another replacement. Yes, I know it's not the correct original, but it has to be done. You know, at the end of the day, we need to get this. I've got to say, I prefer Jubilee clips to the spring clips, and I would probably replace both, to be honest with. Likewise, so it won't be too bad to get off in the future. But obviously, to do this job anyway, you can use sort of an 8mm. So if you had the alternator on and you wanted to take this pipe off, you would just get an 8mm socket on that screw. That's tightened really nicely now. That looks really nice.
What's that slit in the pipe?
Where?
Yeah.
Slit. It's normal. That's just where it's marked up over the years.
Does it need to be on?
There we go. Done. Now the other one, I might have to replace the other one actually. So if we get that pipe. Oh, where's that gone? Yeah, I wouldn't trust this one either. So
that's locked on, that one.
That is completely locked. Look at that. That is absolutely, because it gets so rusty, it just sticks together. Again, another one. Okay, and then we've got another one. I tell you what, it's a good job that we've done this job, because these spring clamps might have done more damage than anything if they'd have let go. I've yet to replace the ones on mine, but they don't look that bad actually. They just look a bit frilly, but they're nowhere near as bad as these. These are the two main culprits for rusting. I'm not sure, but the ones on this car is rusty as the bolts for the thermostat housing. So the cautious tale with this one, guys, if you encounter this, be prepared, do lots of drilling. I knew somebody who actually scrapped his Focus years ago because of this exact issue. All the bolts of the thermostat housing snapped. Not good, and that's not what you want at all. But nowadays we just drill them out. Anyway, looks like we've got rain coming in. We need to move. Yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? You got to know when to stop with those things. But we'll let's say you've got a genuine thermostat and a genuine thermostat housing, which is really good. But now there's more things that are going to cause bother. Honestly, these stupid frigging clips, I've had enough of these.
Oh, I don't like this. No,
I
hate the small one.
These are absolutely vile. See what I mean? It just literally jumps off. Every single one of them. Just got to be very careful that these don't come off with a bit of the pipe in it. There we go. The old-fashioned water pump pliers. Unfortunately, this is what it's like living with a Mark 1 on a daily basis. Unfortunately, most of them have had, even ones like this that have had good, you know, is that the brake pipes done? Which is why I think when they had the brake pipes done on this, they couldn't be bothered to fit the bolt, well, they lost the bolt for the bracket. And also, well, talking about that, we can't get a fuel filter. So what we're going to do is put the incorrect sized one on, but we're going to just leave the bracket off, because at the end of the day, the bracket was off in the first place. I'll just make sure it's nice and secure and it's not wobbling around too much with a few cable ties, and that will do for now. We'll get a proper filter fitted on the next day. So yeah, fantastic episode on how to change your fuel filter, guys. But it really is as simple as taking it easy with the clips. Everything you have to take easy, and everything takes ages, including these ridiculous pipes that can break off. Nah, there we go. Good. No, hold on. Is that not gone off? Oh, it has actually. Oh, goodness me. This.
Can this dig anyone?
Every single thing on this thing is absolutely shot. Look at it. Different thing.
George, I'm calling you Jazabella the second.
Right, I am going to extract that in a second, and hopefully this one won't go the same way. But
I don't know if you can see that, but
it is stuck in there just a little bit. Oh, dearie me. What a day. This is Mark 1 Focus life. Most of these cars have really not, you know, they've gone ages without major servicing because they're so reliable. But the problem is now for enthusiasts who want one, or anybody who wants one, big bills unless you can do it yourself, and struggle with these hoses. Is this one going to go? No, it's not. Wow, that's so we're missing the end bit there. Yeah, well, we're going to
cracked as well.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's completely shot. Okay, right.
That one off now.
I have to take that one. Yeah, absolutely. Another one that just refuses to come off that lump.
One there.
Yeah. Roles have been reversed now. Nick's been complaining he's not done enough work today, so
complaining?
I'm having a rest. Fantastic. That's one bolt that hasn't snapped, unlike many of Nick's cars. But as I say, all fair in the war against everything that seizes. Now, Nick says he has a problem getting this off. Nick,
I do.
Wait a minute. Can I just give you some advice here? Do you want to try and take that hose off? Because it'll be easier once... before it comes off. Yeah. Try and twist that hose off before you actually take the bottle completely off. So one hand on the bottle. Yeah, just keep twisting. That's it. There we go. That bit never snaps. It's always the top two bits that snap. And you will need a flathead screwdriver, my friend, that's on the side. Stick it in that gap where it lodges. You just need to stick a flat blade.
Oh.
No, I don't think that is going to do anything. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go on, stick it right down there in between the two. Don't worry if you break it.
I don't want to snap this fucking...
No. Get the camera.
Sweet.
Yeah, he's sacked.
I don't want to snap that, whatever it is.
Interestingly, actually, we are actually going to need a pick to actually get in and break the bond, because it is actually... Even the coolant bottle doesn't want to come off. For God's sake, is this car light swapped? Like last time I worked on this car, it was much easier than Jazabella, he said, and then suddenly today it's decided, I just want to go all Jazabella. Flipping heck. Yeah, this tab was starting to bend, but been a blooming shame. I can't even be bothered with that today. Ooh, disgusting. That's fine. Sometimes that can come from the power steering area. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put that fuel filter back into place. All you do, I say, just get the fuel hose. Make sure that's connected in the right way. Make sure you've got the arrow going into this one, so the arrow will point directly into this pipe and it will go to the main pipe, and that's it. I'm going to secure that at the back, and we'll come to that on another day, replacing it properly. But the truth is, all you need to do, make sure the pipe is well in, and make sure that the little lip on the fuel filter is well on, and then you put the clip over. Okay, so make sure that that piece is on that side, and then literally snap. There you go. Then that's all you're doing on that side. So I'll hook this back on without the bracket, and I'll just secure it, because at the end of the day it's no better with the bracket, and we have to use this to get you home. And then, quite frankly, I'm not putting that disgusting filter back on. And yeah, it's another to the list. Get a proper filter. It's just the way it is with parts. They don't cross-reference them properly as such. Right, okie dokie. So we put the filter this way. As I say, you can see that the direction is this way. Just put that vapor line out the way, and we'll just stick the fuel pipe. There's still plenty of fuel coming out of this into the filter. Now, if that clip won't push back in, it means that this pipe hasn't gone all the way. There we go. You hear that last click? If you can't push this clip in, it hasn't gone over this lip enough. There you go. Job done. We'll put the vapor line back on. Now, this filter, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to actually secure a cable tie around to a little, there's a little holder there for the brake pipe. Not the most appropriate way of doing things, but equally, I will show you how to do the bracket on another day when we've got the proper filter. But the bracket will have an 8mm bolt where there's a hole at the top. It's difficult to see up there. A lot of garages probably don't fit these brackets for this reason, but it's not totally insecure, but it's not as secure as it was, and that for me doesn't sit well. But for now, it's okay. There we go. Job done. Right, I will secure that at some other point. Right, battery's connected back up. Now, we've still got the cooling system in pieces, but we're only starting up for a few seconds. Put that back on. Then we'll go in the car and we'll see. Cycle it a few times. So turn it on. Yeah, turn it back off. Turn it back on. Can you hear the fuel pump? Yeah. Yeah. Turn it back on again. Right, that has now pressurised the system. Are there any leaks? No, I can't see any leaks whatsoever. So we put that pipe back together again properly. Fantastic. Right, we're ready to start. Go on then, mate. Lovely. Fantastic, we're done here.
See what I mean by that screech?
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm going to do it again. Go on then. No, it's fine. It's fine. No problem. Fantastic. Right. Happy?
Yes.
Just about. I think, like you've suggested, that Crossland filter is not meant to be used with the bracket. It doesn't seem that unsecure. It just seems weird how the garage didn't bother to fit one sodding bolt, but it's weird. It fits and it doesn't leak. That's the main thing. Just weird. Aftermarket parts are just so weird. Right. What? What have you seen now? Oh, for goodness sake. Oh, it's come off the clips again. This is a problem. So that should sit like that. I'll sort that out in a second, but they never sit right. Doesn't look like anything snapped. What happens is people snap that clip.
Does it snap that?
No. No.
What's off?
Oh, well, this might be a bit of a problem. We've got another problem. It has snapped. It snapped the whole damn thing. Oh, for goodness sake. Right, new piece of trim, but yeah, as I say, we're going to need one for manual. Been a shame. Been a shame. Been a shame. Bust my table.